Hello, all my food service friends. This is Jason Wange here in Denver, Colorado with your Powerplant positivity tip number 9. Watch your mouth. Now, we're building upon a principle we learned the other day about taking 100% responsibility in our life and the importance of that in feeling like we're in control. Okay? One of the ways that we can take more responsibility in our lives is to realize that the words that we use affect our ability to feel like we've got this, we can figure it out, versus the sense that, you know what, maybe I'm not in control, or maybe I don't have this all figured out. And certainly one of the things we want everyone to realize is, you got this, we got this. It's just creating some new habits to help you believe that. So here's an idea I started learning about back in college 23 or so years ago, and it actually came from an economics class. Now, I was a history education major, so I only took one economics class, but this is probably the sentence that stuck out more than any other. It was the first day of class, and the professor got up and said, if I could define economics for you in one sentence, it would be this: never say you don't have time. And he said, look, you always have time. You might be choosing to put it somewhere else. Don't say you didn't have time to study for this test. Instead, you were working, or you were sleeping, or you had to go take care of someone. He goes, all of those things might have been the right decision, but you could have not done those and spent the time studying for this test, whatever it was. So he goes, so never say you don't have time. And today we're going to be looking at other words that we use, oftentimes without even realizing it, that are affecting our ability to believe that we've got this, okay? So today we're going to look at words that are empowering versus words that make us feel like a victim. Remember, victims use the events in their life as the excuse or the reason why their outcomes aren't the way they want, while people who own their story recognize that it's their response to those events. They own that response, which carries the lion's share of the reason why their outcomes are the way they want, or maybe the way they don't want. One of the ways we end up feeling less in control of life is by words that we're using without even recognizing it. And the more we use these words, the more we unintentionally give our power away. It actually weakens our ability to make clear and conscious choices. Let's start with the first one on the board. I have to. You ever found yourself saying, I have to? I have to go to work. I have to take care of the kids. I have to pay my taxes. Now, all of those are great things, but you don't actually have to. You don't have to go to work. There might be a consequence if you don't go to work. You don't have to take care of the kids, although certainly that's the right thing to do, and you don't have to pay your taxes. So I want to share with you today this belief that I don't think anyone could actually ever make you do anything. You always have a choice in the matter. Now, there might be consequences, like we said. If you don't pay your taxes, there's consequences for that. So here's what I want to do. I want to use a little example to flip something that you might be thinking you have to do into something that you recognize you're actually making a choice. And let's use taxes. If you've ever said, I have to pay taxes, no, you don't have to. What's the result if you don't pay taxes? Well, if I don't pay taxes, then the IRS comes after me, okay? And what happens after that? Well, if the IRS comes after me, then they'll freeze my bank accounts, okay? And next, if the IRS freezes my bank accounts, then I will be a criminal, okay? And what's last? If I'm a criminal, then I go to jail. Okay, so you've created a choice. You can either choose to pay taxes or go to jail. And many of us would say, you know what? I would rather pay taxes than go to jail. So it's not that you have to. You just would rather that versus going to jail. And I think you're in the same boat as many of us. So let's look at a couple other words back here that are inherently disempowering. They take our power away. I can't, which is simply another way of saying I'm not capable of. Well, of course you are. You can figure it out. You can call someone. You can take a class, whatever you have to do to figure out how to do something. Instead of using the word can't, I want you to use the word I won't, which is much more empowering. It says, I'm in control and I'm simply choosing not to figure this out. Here's another one. Should. One of my friends said they have a mural on their wall which says, I will not should on myself. Okay? Instead of using the word should, which is someone else putting something on you, I want you to use the word, well, I could, or I can do this. I can learn. I can figure out. There's a little bit more freedom there. The last one, try. Someone told me one time, I'll never forget this, that try is simply the polite way of saying, I have absolutely no intention of accomplishing this goal. Okay? And we all hear friends, colleagues, and ourselves use the word, I'll try to get it done all the time. Instead of using that word, which is disengaged, it's unsure, it's indecisive, use the word I commit. Or simply say, you know what? I'm not going to make time for that. Okay? Way more empowering words. All of these words are more pervasive than our language than we even realize. So here's what I want you to do. I challenge you to put $1, take out a jar in your house, where a lot of us are at home right now, and every time you hear yourself using one of these words, put a buck in it or a nickel in it or whatever it is, and see how much money you collect. And, I don't carry a ton of cash. I do most things credit. Most of us do. So instead of that, take out a piece of paper, write the words down, and every time you catch yourself using one, just make a little dot. And then what I want you to do these next few days and weeks is I want you to intentionally try to catch yourself. Change the word to the positive, empowering version, and then watch yourself slowly start to get rid of these disempowering words. And I will challenge you that if you commit to using more empowering words in your everyday language, that you will watch your levels of confidence grow, and that sense that I've got this, that will continue to grow. Remember, you absolutely have this. We're in this together. We've got it together. We're going to figure this out. I wish you the best in health and safety. Remember, if you're struggling in particular right now, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to talk with you, connect with you, or reach out to those who care about you. We've got it together. All the best.